A dog that used to be mine passed away last year. I knew she was in good hands and lived a fulfilling, love-filled life, but the death itself hit me nonetheless, although not as hard as the countless thoughts of her inevitable death. Curious that, isn't it? How the anticipation of said occurrence affects more than the actual occurrence itself. That got me thinking about the concept of death in general, which in turn made me reminisce about the most laid-back film from Todd Solondz, the one that focuses on death. We close one chapter to open or reopen another one, right? We take detours to revisit the past, even when it's empty or half full, I suppose. Either way, a sense of longing persists, and longing for whatever or whoever is better than nothing. Which is what predominantly causes the fear of death, right? We fear to face a big fat load of nothing at the end of a rather tiresome journey that we happen to call life. For the most part, treading for a trail of shit to be able to rest, even if that rest means departing in one way or another. But do we ever stop to ponder about how our departure will affect the lives of the ones we affected?
I'll never forget Wiener-Dog.
Hey, Wiener-Dog.
Brandon McCarthy?
Death brought Brandon out of the woodwork, giving him some sense of purpose by confronting and informing, opening doors to perhaps more than... Okay, well, reconnecting doesn't really work when no connections were there in the first place. But still, the incentive was there, and the action was taken. That's ultimately what matters.
Heads up, bitch.
I win! Yeah, let's play again.
Okay. Okay, but let's take a little break first.
How long?
10 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And then we play again.
And then we'll play again.
5 minutes.
That's perfectly reasonable. Why waste 10 minutes on social niceties when you can happily chop off heads in this political climate? Well, Tommy wasn't expecting news about his father's death, which is why he quickly forgot about stepping away from the fun for 5 minutes and ended up elongating the break from indulgence himself.
You know how Dad had a drinking problem?
Yeah, but he worked real hard. Now he doesn't drink anymore.
But then he started drinking again.
He did?
Yeah.
He told me he stopped.
He stopped, and then he started again.
Why?
Couldn't help himself.
But he told me he stopped.
The drinking made Dad very sick.
I know. That's why he stopped.
Repetition in this case can stem from either a lack of belief or a strong will of avoiding what is already believed. I'd say this poor soul merged both of those thinking tracks on his way through blissful unawareness. There's more than meets the eye with each contact. No matter how simple a certain claim or counterclaim may be, it can always carry additional weight. In this case, the weight being unexpected devastation caused by an untimely departure, which is why those minutes suddenly end up being a lot more significant, without being rushed away.
So, he died? Did he stop doing drugs?
Yes.
Promise?
Yes.
And you want to start doing them again?
No.
Promise?
Yes.
No more drugs?
No more drugs.
Promise?
Promise.
Wake-up calls start going off, an unclear sense of sentimentality gets a sudden boost while seeming very clear, and priorities in general get to take a backseat to spontaneity fueled by wanting to turn a corner.
She should stay here. She belongs here.
Really? I always wanted a leash.
This turn was noticeably lazy in terms of writing, though. We're just supposed to assume that the dog went off on a wacky adventure while those two were busy eating hot dogs? Alright, sure, whatever. At least we got a fun interlude out of it. Sometimes a mere disappearance can substitute a death. Now, I'm not talking about something like a person going missing for a number of years, or an unhinged teen running away from home for a couple of nights, but rather someone being present, yet not really, if you get my drift. Perhaps you might be wondering where I am. Well, maybe I'm dead? No, I'm just kidding. I'm still here, obviously. Why am I here, though, if I rarely ever feel present? Who cares? We want some closure, don't we? Well, the dog dies at the end, and so do we.
Death is a good thing.